Welcome to the International Racing League Round 3 of IRL F1. We're going to be at Mexico today. We're going underway very shortly. I think we're waiting for one driver doing the update. As we've got a few reserves as well today, 3 reserves. Luke, Vettel YouTube, I believe, YT. Don't know his name, it will probably be transferred me that information very soon. We've got Sauber in, and we've got a F2 reserve who's doing F1 as a reserve today is Jamie Morris. See what his pace is like today with the F1 drivers. So we should be going underway very shortly. I'm just going to make sure I've got everything set up. Those drivers are now starting to get ready. I don't know why. Okay, right, yeah, we should be going actually very shortly. So I'm actually going to go on Discord and look at the driver standings currently. In F1, the standings are, I believe this is correct. Yep, it's the correct standings. After round 2, Matthew Alder still leads in the championship with 43 points, with Jay Drawbridge in second with 26 points. And third place is Mark SB in the Haas F1 team with 23 points, and Brandon Glover close right behind in fourth with 22 points. Then Amir with 18 points. Leon Bentley with 15, Sondre with 12 points, Nino Romanello with 10, Thomas Glenn with 8 points, Lewis Marshall with 8 points, Felix Negwer with 6 points, Cameron Young with 5 points, Can with 4 points, and the final person to score points in the standings right now is Jack Earl in 14th with 2 points. Drivers who haven't scored points are Lee Kelly, Dylan Day, Brett, Tyler Rhodes, Nicholas and Samuel Nazar. As we're about to get underway with the lobby. Currently the top 4 in the constructors right now is Renault F1 team with a bit of a gap with 55 points in the lead, Mercedes in second with 32 points, Haas F1 team in third with 28 points, and close behind them is Red Bull Racing with 26 points. And in 5th place is McLaren with 15 points, 6th is Ferrari with 14 points, 7th is Alfa Romeo Racing with 8 points, and Racing Point with 4 points, and Toro Rosso Honda with only 2 points. And the only team who hasn't scored points in the constructors is the Williams. As we get ready for qualifying. As qualifying looks dry, and it is dry, so my qualifying prediction is going to be VSR Blizzard is Matthew Alder in 1st place, 2nd place it's going to be Lee Kelly, 3rd place Jack Earl, and 4th place Mark. I believe he's going to do well today. As everyone gets ready to set ups, we should be underway very shortly. And the first, oh no, we've got an issue. Just give me a minute. Yeah, we've got no audio. We've got a problem here. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna have to ask for a new invite to the session. Currently Luke is actually the first one, well actually no, it's actually now Tyler Rhodes, actually now the first one to go out on his lap. Hopefully Sondre can see this message as soon as he can, because I need a new invite. just going to ask in the chat if someone can actually hopefully someone can invite me to this session. I'm back out because hopefully I can rejoin the session. I know Matthew will be appearing online. Thanks Codemasters yet again. They've kind of bugged this. They're supposed to have fixed this bug, but they haven't. Just give me a few minutes while I try and get back into the lobby. No. I've asked for a new invite. I'll have to be online probably for this actually. There you go. Right. Sondre, mate, if you are in the stream, I need a new invite because the lobby was bugged. I had an audio bug. Do apologise, guys. I can blame Codemasters for this. Come on, guys, invite me. There we go. Thank you, Lewis. It's much appreciated. So it's Marshall there, saves the day and invites us to the lobby. As I'll go back in spectator mode. Also, Tyler, that's something to invite. Thank you very much. So apology guys, there's probably times already been done and you've probably missed the first times. Oh, Lewis Marshall had free time because he was finishing his dinner. So there we go, audio's back and Jackal is actually... Oh, I forgot Jackal has a quali ban for this race. For the incident he had last week with Jay. As currently the fastest lap right now with Lee Kelly is a 1:14.8. On the soft tyres, Cannon second with 1:15.1 on soft tyres, Luke also with 1:15.9 on soft tyres, Mark's on a 1:16.6 with a set of hard tyres, and Tyler Rhodes setting on competitive lap with a 2-minute 1. As Matthew Alder is currently on a lap right now, so he's on the straight on the set of soft tyres. As there's yellows in sector 2. The strat's probably a 2-stop or 1-stop round here. Lewis. Looks like everyone will probably qualify on soft stores. Matthew is coming around the final corner. What time is he going to set? It's going to be quick. What time is it? A 1:14.2, the new fastest lap, and takes first place by quite a margin over Lee Kelly, who said a 1:14.8, and Matthew Orris at 1:14.2. As we'll go on board with the only person who is out on a... Well, actually, wasn't a quite lap, but looks like he's got a bit of wing damage there, so we'll go on board with... Don't believe Mark. And Mark SB is actually on a lap on a set of hard tyres still, so he's probably doing a third competitive lap right now. He's now approaching turn 12. Entering my favourite section of this track, turn 13, 14 and 15. Nice tie there through that section there from Mark, no mistakes. Mark is going to finish this lap. What time is it going to be? It's going to be a 1:16 flat, 6/10 improvement on a set of hard tyres. Third lap's done. Stays in 5th place since nobody else has done a lap currently right now, as we'll go on board with who is on a lap. I know Mark now will probably be peeling off into the pits. We'll go on board with one of the F2 drivers, who's a reserve, well, both reserves for F2 and F1, is Jamie Morris, in the number 19 in the Ferrari on this set of hard tyres. So he's not going straight to the softs, which is interesting. You could qualify the hards and go softs to the end of the race. Probably slow at the start, but really quick at the end. So we see he's backing off now with only 10 minutes and 55 seconds remaining of the session. Jamie's backing up a lot. Hopefully he doesn't hold anybody up, and on the way he goes. So here comes Jamie Morris now down the back, or down the main straight, the biggest straight in F1 I believe. It's 211 miles an hour down the main straight. Coming into the first set of chicanes. Nice and tidy exit there, stays in third gear, doesn't shift down the second at all. But I've seen some drivers have done that in the past. Maxing out 7th gear, goes straight 8th, doesn't max out 7th gear. I would have stayed in third in that corner, then gone to second. So far though, nice and tidy part of the lap from Jamie Morris currently. Now the very fast section of the track, you've got to have full concentration, because one little mistake around here and you will be into the wall. And I know about this because of a lot of practice I've done, and you still end up in the wall with just a tiny bit of lack of concentration right now. As Morris is doing brilliantly so far on this current lap. He is on the hard, so I'm not expecting him to be first place or 1:14.2 on a set of hard tyres, because that will be amazing if you could do this. Come around the final 2 corners. What time is it going to be on those set of hard tyres? Oh, he peels into the pits, so he backs out of that lap, and we'll go on board with... yeah, we'll go on board with Jay Drawbridge, as Jay Drawbridge is second in the championship right now. His rival is in the lead currently in the championship, as currently Jay Drawbridge goes 7th place, so 1:17.3. Now, isn't the quickest on the hard tyres. Mark was quicker with a 16 flat, but did Jay make a mistake somewhere? As currently Sondre is saying, if you qualify out of the top 10, hards to softs will work. So maybe we may see some drivers out of the top 10 going on a hard and then softs. As currently we're still on board with Jay, since he is on a lap, a bit of a lock up into the second left and right. Now entering turn 8. Nice and tidy there so far from Jay, even though with that lock up he may have lost a bit of time, but he still looks quick so far. Nice and tidy through the fast left right section. Beautiful out there, nice and tidy exit, flat out, straight on the power. Down into turn 12, clips the apex, hits the exit curb, now into the little hairpin, straight to gear 1, more turning in, nicely, oh, cuts the corner there a little bit, that could have been an invalidation. Will he peel into the pits? No, he doesn't, he's staying out. Oh no, yep, he does peel in the pits. My review that he wasn't. Now we'll go on board with Brett now, because Brett is on a lap, I believe. Oh, no, Brett is not on a lap, so we'll go on board with Mark, who is currently, well, that's not a true delta there, that was from his hards run. Apparently he was 6/10 up on his time, but now we'll see how quick on his time on a set of soft tyres he is. Currently Lewis Marshall is also on an out lap right now on a set of soft tyres, so we'll go on board with him after Mark's done his lap. Now into entering sector 2. Nice tie so far from Mark, no invalidation as of yet, no mistake as of yet. Nice and tidy there. Time's going to be, he's a whole second up on his time, not surprised. Softs are quicker than the hards right now. So he would have found a bit more time, so he may have actually made a little bit of a mistake, but nice and tidy at the end. In sector 3. Come around the final corner now, maxing it out. Oh, just running out of ERS before he hits the line. A 1:14.4, 1.5 seconds improvement, so he found 5/10 there in sector 3. But it was an invalid, so he did invalidate it there. and that would have been forwarded him to 3rd place there. That's very unfortunate there for Mark. So we'll go on board with Lewis Marshall right now, who is currently on his lap, the person who hasn't done a lap yet on a set of softs. So this will be his first run. Let's see what he can do with the number 82 on the Ferrari. As Matthew sets the new fastest lap, breaks in the 113.9s right now. First person to be on the 113s. That's a very quick lap there from Matthew Alder. It's currently will stay on board with Lewis Marshall. Bit of lock up into turn 4. Nice tight exit to turn 5. Into turn 6 now. Now the fast section, turns 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. You've got to get these corners absolutely perfect to get in the most amount of time. Currently right now Lewis is keeping in within track limits, but still flooring it. Stays in 7th gear. Into turn 12. Turn 13 he goes into gear 1. Oh, that's definitely invalidation, and that is game over for his qualifying run on that attempt. I'm positive that was invalidated. If that is a time that... wow, that wasn't invalidated. A 115.1. I'm positive he cutted that corner there, but I may be mistaken. Lewis Marshall is currently now 4th place with 115.1. As now we'll go on board with... Nicholas has just done a 114.6 with the Williams. Maybe get some decent points today in 3rd place. As we'll go on board with Jamie Morris, who's the only... well, him, Sondre and Brett are the only people who haven't done laps right now, and Jamie Morris with only 4 minutes and 36 seconds remaining of the session. He's on set mediums, not going straight on the soft tyres. Well, he must not have made any mistakes so far, since he's still going to continue with the lap. See what Jamie Morris can do against the F1 drivers. This is a bit different from him from F2. This is more of a challenge. Let's see what time Jamie's going to do. 16.2 on a set of medium tyres. Promotes himself to 9th place currently right now. And Mark's fastest on a set of hards was a 16 flat. Jay was a 17.3 on a set of hards. But I know Jay, he will be on a new competitive lap on these set of mediums he's currently on right now. So the only two who haven't done quality laps right now is Sondre Sorhaug and Brett, with Jack Oil serving his quali ban. Sondre the Bottle Haug is still in the pits, surprisingly. I thought he was out of the pits there, but it was actually Tyler Rhodes actually still on his out lap. He's just finished his out lap actually, who we will go on board with next. What is Jay going to do? He's going to do a 1:15.1, 2.1 seconds improvement on his hard run, and goes to 6th place. As now we'll go on board with Tyler Rhodes, who's on his medium run now. So a few people going on mediums then, it looks like. As there's one of the Racing Point cars ahead, who I believe is on an out lap. It is, it's Can. So hopefully if Tyler Rhodes catches him very quickly, hopefully Can gets out of the way. Now Tyler Rhodes is doing a very nice entire lap through Sector 1, now entering Sector 2. Still in ERS Mode 5, surprisingly. Thought he would have gone in ERS Mode 4 because it is quicker down the straight, but ERS Mode 5 is quicker around everywhere else. He's now approaching turn 12. Racing Point drivers just kept it enough ahead so it doesn't affect Tyler Rhodes' lap. Tyler Rhodes may get a bit of dirty air near the final section because he is starting to catch up quite quickly. As Can gets out of the way very respectfully there. Tyler Rhodes does see that now. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining of this session. Tyler Rhodes is going to finish this lap. What time is it going to be? A 1:16.3. And that promotes him to 11th place as Sondre and Brett are on outlaps as we speak. So they're going very late. This is the first runs they're going to do, their only runs they're going to do. As currently we'll go on board with Can now, who is on a lap, who backed off there to let Tyler Rhodes through, as Sauber has left the session. Hopefully he can make it back to the session, as Tyler Rhodes is now retired from the session now, called it quits after his qualifying run. Luckily the two drivers behind him are not on the laps, I don't think. Right now Can is into turn 4 and 5, entering now turn 6. Got to get a nice and tidy exit out of this to gain a bit of time. Nice tidy so far. Now he's entering turn 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, the very fast section. What you've got to get right. One mistake and it's invalid, or worse, you retire from the session. Nice tidy so far from Khan, not exceeding track limits at all there. Still going absolutely flat out, goes into 8th gear. The only person I've seen going 7th gear is Lewis Marshall there. Oh, that could be an invalidation. He almost lost control of the car there and almost hit the wall. But good save there from Khan. Coming around the final corner, that is definitely an invalidation. Is he peeling into the pits? Nope, he's staying out. What time's it going to be? A 1:15 flat. It is an improvement, so it wasn't invalidated. And promotes himself to 5th place. As currently we'll go on board with Brett now. Brett will be on the lap. Oh, Brett's made a mistake. He's exceeded track limits there. Now Sondre is the only person who hasn't really done a lap, because the only person who's going to finish a lap who hasn't done a lap, because Brett's not got enough time, I believe, and enough fuel to do another lap on those tyres. So we'll stay on board with Sondre Sorhaug as Saba's made it back. Oh, Khan's retired car gets out of the way of Sondre. Hopefully that didn't mess Sondre up. And Sondre is now coming into turn 4 and 5. Nice and tidy so far. Not hitting the curbs, though, from Sondre at all. As we've got 6 seconds remaining of qualifying, so this is the final run for Sondre. If he messes this up, it is game over as Lewis Marshall retires from the session in sector 1, 2 and 3. We've got yellow flags. Oh, that is definitely a corner cut. Will Sondre be starting at the back of the grid? Or has he just got away with that little cut there? We'll have to wait and see as he's approaching the final 2 corners. Absolutely flooring the car currently right now. Now come around the final corner. Almost out of ERS. Just trying. Oh, he's made another mistake. Another corrective error there. Coming around the final corner. What time's it going to be? A 1. Actually, no time. No time at all there. So it was invalid. He will be fuming with that qualifying attempt. However, he could be happy that he's starting at the back with the race, with the slipstream. He's going to get down on the main straight. As currently, Lee Kelly is the last person, I believe, who's going to set a lap. As Mark Espy goes to 2nd place for 1:14 flat. Oh, as Lee Kelly hits the wall at the end of the quality section there. As the only person who hasn't done a lap is let's finish off his lap is Jamie Moss. What time's it going to be? It's going to be a 1:15.1. Jamie Moss goes 7th place there. Good driving there from Jamie. As currently the leader is Matthew Alder, with 2nd place Mark Espy and 3rd place Lee Kelly. Nicholas in 4th, Salbert in 5th, Can in 6th, Jamie Morris in 7th, Lewis Marshall in 8th. So a reserve and a full-time Ferrari driver, so both Ferraris are 7th and 8th. Jay in 9th with a 15.1, will be starting on the mediums. Luke in 10th on a set of softs with 1:15.9. Tyler Rhodes, who's going to get a free choice of tyre, 1:16.3 in 11th place. As I'll go down the rest of the order when we go on the formation lap. As my race prediction is going to be, if Matthew Alder doesn't get any contact at the start, I think he's going to walk away with the win today. With Mark possibly in 2nd place. 3rd place I'm going to have to give it to Jay. I think Jay's going to absolutely fly through the field. And 4th I'm going to have to give it Lee. So we're about to get underway. As Lewis Marshall says he hates this track and limits are BS. I do agree with that. The track limits on some of the tracks this year are a bit silly. It says, like, if you touch the white line, oh, that's track limits. You're not really gaining any time. But either way, that's the way the Codemasters go as we're getting ready on the formation lap. And as I was going down the grid order, Brett is in 12th place, Sondre Sorhaug in 13th, and Jack Hall served his qualifying ban and is in 14th. As we'll have a look on the tyres everyone's on. Everyone through the top 8 on softs. Jay is on mediums as he qualified on that. Luke's on softs, but Tyler Rhodes, Brett are also on mediums at the top 10. Sondre Sorhaug is the only one on hard tyres, and Jack Oil in softs. Matthew is getting everybody ready on the field as there's a few internet issues there with Alder, a bit of connection issues there. Yep, I do agree there, Lewis, as Matthew... Oh, I didn't actually catch that. What happened to Matthew there? Did he make a mistake? What? As he's bunching everybody up. As Tom has unfortunately just joined the session. He's just missed out of the race since formation lap is starting. Everyone's got to be patient now, because... who is that? It isn't more. It's Lewis Marshall. What is Lewis doing? He's not first. He's 8th. Well, Lewis Marshall can't bother to wait for the grid order sequence. Matthew Alder's backing everybody up very smartly, trying to get cool on, trying to get everybody's tyres really cold, but it's failing as Mark is on his inside, and I believe that is Jay also on his inside there. There's a very smart tactic there from Matthew as everybody's getting prepared on their qualifying runs, and I believe there's a few people, yeah, there's a few people disqualified. Very unfortunate. As I have to wait till light sequence so I can get a better camera view. As there we go, we're down to 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, now to 5 lights, and we are waiting, and off we go. Matthew gets an alright start, but so does Mark. And we see one of the Red Bull drivers had an excellent start, so does the Ferrari, so does the Racing Point driver, but Matthew's managed to keep the lead so far, defending on the inside line. Mark is right on the back end of him, on the slipstream. This is a slipstream fest already, but Matthew is going to have to defend on the inside line. Mark's on the outside, any contact through the back of the grid. Bit of wheel banging there, but everyone's got nice and tidy. No one's spinning out. Oh, Sondre has fallen back of the grid on his set of hard tyres. Matthew keeps the lead after turn 1 and 2 and 3. Now entering turn 4 and 5. Currently still in lead and pulling a bit of a gap. No contact between him and Mark. Oh, there's a big battle going on further back, as Lewis Marshall is surprisingly got up to 4th place. He's now challenging Lee Kelly for 3rd. As there's a huge scrap going on further down the order. As one of the new drivers as a reserve, I believe today, is Luke, and he's right on board with Jamie Morris, reserve. Oh, Tyler Rhodes almost loses the car there with a bit of contact, I believe, from Jay. Jamie Morris holds P11. Oh, bit of a dive from there, Luke, there onto Jamie Morris, going on the inside on the hairpin corner. Jamie defends absolutely beautiful there. Currently now we'll go back on board with the battle for the lead. Matthew sets the fastest lap since he's the first one across the line with 1:19.9, pulling over a gap currently over 8/10 over Mark. Lee Kelly is already dropping out of the DRS detection zone, and look at him, he's already under threat by Lewis Marshall. Lewis Marshall is eager for a podium today. Oh, and there's contact! Lewis Marshall and Lee Kelly all round, and they will be furious with each other there. That was a bit of wheel banging there. And in my opinion, Lewis was at fault. He turned a bit too early. Well, those two will be furious. Now they're back at the grid. You can already tell Lewis is absolutely furious, weaving down the main straight. As currently now Matthew is still in the lead with a gap of 9/10. Currently got a bigger of a gap with 2 seconds from 3rd place. And surprisingly, nobody else got caught up with that incident between Lee Kelly and Lewis Marshall. As Lewis Marshall has retired from the session, he is furious and he's called it quits at today's race. That is very unfortunate after he had a very good start. As Matthew is no safety car. I thought it was a safety car then because they were going a bit slowly. Matthew got caught there a little bit on the final corner, as well, Lewis, both you in a way, or that you both collided with each other, as now DRS has been enabled. But if you've got footage of that, mate, report it to the admins and we'll see who's at fault. As currently Lee Kelly's already on the back of Sondre Sorhaug. Easily move of attempt, since the soft tyres will be miles quicker than the hards. But no, Lee doesn't get past. Sondre defends with his straight line speed. Wow. As we'll go on back on board with a battle for 4th place. Jesus. Huge car scrap for 4th place now, right now. Actually, technically a battle for 3rd. Because Can's slowly catching up with Nicholas, who's got a gap to 2nd place over 2.4 seconds. So right now Mark and Matthew can just chill out a bit. They've got a big enough gap currently right now, as Jay has already passed Alder into the fast section currently right now, as Can is under threat from the championship defender Jack Hoyle. Jack Hoyle wants to get a good result after his quali ban, starting at the back of the grid. Will he be a person who to get a podium from starting at the back? To wait and see, because currently now Jack Hoyle is all over the back of Can. Will he get him down the main straight with the DRS on? Trying to get out of his dirty air there a little bit. His engine may be overheating, as Jamie Morris now past Saber. Saber's pitted, as Saber got damage. We'll go on board with that very shortly, as Jack Hoyle is going to make a move on the inside line. But Can's not giving it without a fight, but has to back out of that, and unfortunately there he couldn't make his move stick against Jack Hoyle. The Jack Hoyle now moves himself up to 4th, but the battle isn't finished. Can, even without DRS, is quicker than him in the straight line. But however, look at Jay, there's going to be more contact. No, Jay's looking on the inside but can't find a move attempt there, so Jack's going to have to wait. Sorry, Jay is going to have to wait there behind him, as Sondre has just lost position there from Tyler Rhodes, as Lee Kelly and wow, there's another battle further on which is quite big, with Brett, Luke, Tyler Rhodes and Sondre and Lee Kelly currently battling for 8th place. Oh, Luke Vale gets a time penalty there for exceeding track limits quite odd, but look at this. Lee Kelly is on the back of Sondre Sorhaug there. As currently Matthew's been caught very quickly. Currently the gap is now 4 tenths. Mark versus Matthew. Is Mark going to have enough straight line speed to have an attempt move on the inside into one? Oh, Matthew locks up. Matthew's ground. Matthew is round. That is a mistake there from Matthew, I believe, because on my screen it didn't look like contact, but I could be wrong. There could have been contact between him and Mark, but that is very rare we see a mistake from Matthew Alder, because currently Mark is in the lead. Mark is now winning this race. Don't know what happened there from Matthew. His rears or what, just locked. Now he's going to have to wait till tyres cool down a bit before he can start on the attack, because now Nick is slowly catching up. But Matthew's still slowly catching up now back to Mark. Actually, not quite quickly, actually. Don't know what happened there between those two. As I'm going to have to scoot back to the battle with Can and Jay. As Jamie Morris is not that far in 7th, currently 1.1 seconds off these two. Actually more now, 2 seconds off Jay, but 1 second off Can currently. Oh yeah, there's a second spree. Oh, Luke fell. Oh, there's a big crash. Did Lee get out of that? Yes, he did. Lee Kelly just avoided it, but there was a huge crash there. I only caught the end of that. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he lost the reel on the curb and hit the wall, or there was contact involved. But whoever that was, Sauber is in 3rd. Are we going to see the damaged car? Yes, we are. There is Luke Vettel's damaged car. Unfortunately, he's left the session. It's very unfortunate for his debut. As currently Mark is still leading with the gap 1.6 seconds. As the only battles on track is actually Can and Jamie Morris. One of the battles, but actually the close battle is Tyler Rhodes, Sondre and Lee Kelly. A 3-wide scrap for P9. Lee Kelly's gone on the outside, Sondre's gone on the inside, hards, medium, softs. Who's going to win out of this tyre strategy? Oh, Tyler Rhodes defends quite well on the outside, but Sondre can't go on the inside to do a switchback because Lee Kelly's there. Lee Kelly makes the inside, makes the move on Sondre. What a great move there from the youngster. Lee Kelly now will try and have an attempt on Tyler Rhodes very shortly when he gets to a straight. But look how much grip the soft tyres got. But you can see there, Lee's now actually dropping back because of the dirty air. Oh, as Jamie Morris is in attack. Oh, actually, no, got ahead of Can, actually. So Can's made a mistake somewhere. As, Lee ran a bit wide, but look how close Lee Kelly is to Tyler Rhodes, almost touching his rear wing. So Lee Kelly is absolutely flying. He will be furious under that helmet. He could have probably had a podium today, and it's been ruined. As now Lee Kelly will be on the back of Tyler Rhodes and is going to go... Oh, Tyler Rhodes defends aggressively on the inside, but that is one defensive move that is weaving down the main straight. Trying to break the slipstream there, it looks like. However, that is his defensive move. You only can make one defensive move. As Lee Kelly goes around the outside, there's going to be more contact like Lewis Marshall. Oh! Tyler Rhodes is defending very aggressively. He has got wing damage, but it doesn't matter. Lee Kelly gets ahead. And now Sondre is in the battle with this as well. Trying to go on the outside of Tyler Rhodes with the DRS help with Lee Kelly going on the outside. Very close racing from these two as we're going to go on board with Jack Hoyle very shortly. Unless the gap gets bigger, but this is a decent battle for the back end of the points. Sondre just needs to get past these because he knows these two are holding him up, especially on those hard tyres, especially with Tyler Rhodes' wing damage with a set of mediums. Oh, Tyler Rhodes exceeds track minutes again. That wing is not helping his case there. As we'll go on board with the battle for P3. Jack Hoyle versus Nick. Jay is not that far behind. So Jack's going to have to watch his mirrors as Can is the first one to peel into the pits. Don't look like he's got wing damage, so we're going to stay on board with Jack Hoyle. Jack Hoyle makes the move, but he's down the main straight into third place as we'll go on board with Sondre is actually got ahead of Tyler Rhodes. Oh, as Tyler Rhodes is... I don't know what Tyler Rhodes did there. I don't know if he's deliberately crashed in the wall or what, but Tyler Rhodes is now out of the race. And I don't know what happened there. Well, I think he actually rage quit there. I think Tyler's a bit annoyed at something, so that's unfortunate from Tyler Rhodes. Let's come in now. We'll stay on board with with Nicholas, because now Jay is right behind him under 0.4 of a second. This battle is getting very close now through turn 10 and 11. Now entering into turn 12, as Jamie Morris gets his first 3-second time penalty. But currently Jamie's doing a very good job right now. It's his first reserve race in the F1 division and currently in 6th. And right now is Jay is right on board with Nick. These mediums will be feeling a lot better than those soft tyres, but not for long. It's lap 9. In 5 laps time, those mediums will be feeling where the sauce feels right now. But Jay is still right behind Jamie Morris. Is he going to go on the inside? Nick's defending, but Jay is not giving it without a fight going on the inside. And what an easy move there from Jay, as we got a battle for the lead. Matthew now is caught up after a gap of 1.8 seconds after his mistake or contact between him and Mark. It's currently now 0.5. It's right at the back of Mark. Another look up there from Matthew. So is Matthew not liking this track or something? Because I don't know. He's the only one who broke in qualifying in the 13.9s. Of course, the person was Mark with 14 flat. So Matthew needs to buy his time. Those tyres won't be feeling the best right now. And in my opinion, if you're doing a one-stop, you'd be taking these tyres around about lap 12, lap 15. But if you're doing a two-stop, the pit window is around about lap 9. Oh, Matthew almost loses it there. Lap line, lap 11, roughly. We'll have to see if anyone peels into the pits as we're going the TV pod view currently right now of Matthew. Just taking his time. I ain't got a lot of ERS. Mark's got a bit more ERS than Matthew Alder there. But this is one of the only battles on track. Excuse me. As the other battle right now is actually Jay on Jack Hoyle. So Jay is caught very quickly on Jack Hoyle right now. So will Jay pass Jack Hoyle and stop him getting his podium position? Oh, as Mark almost makes a mistake. I don't know what happened there, but it was the rear exit. But this is going to be easy for Matthew Alder. Matthew Alder, is Matthew going to go for the dive on the inside into turn 4? No, he doesn't. He stays behind. What about Jack Hoyle and Jay? Jack Hoyle and Jay stay in the same position as well, but this is now almost coming into a 5-way battle for the lead. If these lot keep scrapping, Nicholas is going to be right behind them very shortly. So this is anybody's game for the win today. As currently right now, Mark is starting to pull away. Those soft tyres are dying. Got to make sure you don't lose it out of turn 11. And no one makes any mistake right like there so far. As we'll go back on board with Matthew Alder, who's, I wonder if he's going to peel into pits. We'll go back on TV pod view. Yes, Mark pits, Matthew pits, Jack Hoyle pits, Jay's staying out, so Jay is going out to see if he can get a quicker run on the overcut, not undercut. I was going to say undercut there. Brain went dead a bit. As Nicholas, Jack Hoyle, Mark and Matthew Alder are going to go for the undercut against Jay, as Jay's going to go for the overcut, do an extra lap. Now Jay is going to have to push if he wants to get the position ahead of Jack Hoyle, because the undercut is a lot quicker than the overcut. Surprisingly, Matthew Alder's going to set hard, so this means Matthew Alder is going to set a one-stop strategy. So is Mark. As Jack Hoyle is doing a two-stop, it looks like, on a set of mediums. So is Nicholas, also with a two-stop strategy. So there's a few different strategies going on today. The quickest strategy, in my opinion, is the two-stop. Even though you do have to do an extra pit stop, the two-stop is quicker in the long run, especially if there's a safety car involved. Then it's two-stop winner there. But currently right now, Jay is absolutely flying. But now he's in ERS mode 0. So he'll be saving a bit of his ERS. Now, we will go on board with Mark Espy very shortly to see where he will be when Jay pits. So is Jay going to peel into the pits? We'll have to wait and see. No, he doesn't. Jay stays out for another lap. And Mark is not that far ahead. Let's look at the gap currently right now. Around about 20 seconds. And the gap pit stop round here is around about 21 to 19 seconds, I believe. Jamie Morris gets a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane. That's very unfortunate there from Jamie Morris. As Sondre gets a 3-second time penalty. I wonder if Sondre is going to have the same curse he had in the summer season, where he got that many penalties, he got disqualified from the race. Hopefully that doesn't happen today for him, as currently now Mark is back into third place, as Jamie Morris does peel into pits, also going for the two-stop. So that's very surprising. He's going for the two-stop as well. There's only a few people then doing the one-stop strategy, as Lee Kelly is very unfortunate to be outside the points into P11 currently right now. The gap between him and Sauber, 16.6 seconds. But Matthew is not having any patience today against Mark after that little either collision or mistake he had. He wants to get past Mark quickly, because this is costing him time against Jack Hoyle and probably Nicholas soon, because Jay will peel into the pits very shortly. Currently the gap is now to Matthew, 21 seconds. So in theory, Jay's actually managed to stable the gap to the lead. So is Jay pitting? Yes, Jay is in the pits. Jay is peeling into pits. We'll stay on board with Jay, but we'll go on board with Mark very shortly after Jay's done his stop. What tyres is he going on? He's also going on a set of hard tyres. So Jay is going to the end. As where is Mark? Mark's now approaching the final corner. Will he get ahead of Jay? Jay is now coming out of his pit box. Now, is Jay ahead? No, Jay is not ahead. He's going to have to build up some speed, get in the slipstream, but no. Jack Hoyle is already on his outside, made a move and got ahead of Jay. So Jay really didn't lose any time there. In theory, he didn't lose any positions. As Nicholas gets a 3-second time penalty. Sondre is now coming into the background in P7. But I believe he still needs to pit. Yep, Sondre and Brett are the only people who haven't pitted yet. So Brett's going probably a bit long on those mediums, especially... Oh! A bit of contact there from Jack and Jay. Jay didn't like Jack's braking there. No wing damage as I've seen so far. Currently Mark is defending right now against Matthew Alder. This is the biggest battle we've got on track. A battle for P2 from 6th. As a defending champion, he's trying to unravel Matthew Alder to make a mistake so he can get a free position. But Jack Oil doesn't have a successful attempt there. Is he going to get him now down the main straight? Who's got the lowest downforce? And the main straight as Mark gets a decent exit and pulls away a tiny bit there. But look how much ERS Matthew has compared to every other driver in this battle. He's got the most ERS, almost 66%. As now he's gone on the outside, does the switchback, goes on the inside of Mark, takes provisionally the provisional lead. Oh, there's a bit of contact between him and Matthew and Mark. Matthew defends. Oh, Mark's gone for the switchback. Mark's on the inside, but Matthew's going to get DRS. This is going to be close. Wheel banging almost. Matthew trying to shove him off the track. As Mark's now can't. Oh, almost a three-way battle into turn 4. Mark's lost 2 position. Oh, there's contact between him and Jack. What is Jack doing there? Jack, I don't know if Jack was at fault or anything, but those two have lost 2 positions. This is not fair for Jack, since he was at the back of the grid and has now lost a bit of position and lost a bit of wing, I believe. But this has probably put a huge smile on Matthew's face now. He doesn't have to worry about Mark as Matthew gets his first 3-second time penalty. But he's not the only one who has to worry. Now Jay, with no penalties as far, is actually slowly catching up back with Matthew. So Matthew's going to have to pick up the pace and start to push, because Jay's not really pushing it and he's gaining. How much wing damage has Mark got? Has he lost an end plate? No, he's lost no end plate. Is it Jack Hoyle? Yes, it is. Jack Hoyle lost the end plate there. That's very surprising, especially when Mark was the one who made him really spin. But Mark isn't really saving his ERS. Already making a move on Nicholas, but can't make the move as far as currently Brett still hasn't pit as Matthew runs extremely wide. Jay is now in DRS mode. Oh, sorry, not in DRS mode. He's in DRS territory. However, he wasn't in the DRS zone at start of last lap. Currently, the gap between him and Matthew is 0.8. However, there's a battle forming actually between Sondre Sorhaug and Jamie Morris, and Sondre has to pit again, and that gap is closing rapidly as we'll go on board with that battle. As we'll go on back on the battle very shortly. Also, Nicholas and Mark and Jack Hoyle. Oh, look how much Jamie Morris is gaining compared to Sondre. Sondre is going to have to defend on the outside, onto the inside, into turn 12. Jamie Morris is going on the outside. Oh, Sondre shut it off a tiny bit, but that was clean racing there. Racing, a bit of racing and fair there from Sondre, as Jamie Morris has got ahead of Sondre there. So good job there from Jamie Morris as Jack Earl pits. So Jack Earl is already had to pit and is going to go on a set of hard tyres. I don't believe he can make those mediums last 20 laps. As currently Jay is slowly actually getting caught by Nicholas right now, and Mark has still not got ahead. So is there actually a tiny bit of wing damage on the Haas car? Because I did see a bit of carbon fibre from his, I thought, but it might have actually just been Jack Earl's carbon fibre. As currently Jack Earl is still in the pits. Is he going to get passed by Lee Kelly? Now, I don't believe he is, but the gap's going to be very close. Oh, he might actually. We'll go on board with Lee Kelly. Lee Kelly's not that far, and he's on a set of hards. Now, Jack Earl is definitely not going to make those mediums go to the end. If he makes those mediums go to the end, I've got to give him respects for that. But in my opinion, those mediums are not going to make it to the end. They'll be dead before 20 laps. As Matthew Alder is already caught up with Brett, who still needs to pit. Look how slow Brett is compared to Matthew on those tyres. Matthew just caught him within one corner. Brett has to pit. Is he pitting? No. Oh, yes he is. Oh, hang on. I don't know what Brett's doing there. Brett made a mistake. As we'll go on board with TV pod view. Matthew got on the inside. Brett trying to defend. It's not really working out because he's losing so much time. Brett's now trying to slip in the slipstream to try and get back on the straight, but it doesn't work. Matthew is now in the lead of this race. Oh, Brett goes for a huge dive, a very huge dive there, and it is cost him. That is his own fault in my opinion. He should have been more patient and wait on the straight, and that has cost him a bit of time. Has to wait, so has to have a safe exit before he gets a time penalty. And there we go. So Matthew in the lead, Jay in second, Nicholas in third, and Mark in fourth. So Nicholas is going to get a decent set of points for Williams after they haven't scored any points for the first 2 rounds. Currently this is the biggest battle and the closest battle as far. So Mark, even with that bit of contact, is in 4th place, so it's not bad there from Mark. As Sondre gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, is the curse starting to come to Sorhaug? Will he be disqualified? I don't think he will. I think he'll finish with a few penalties. But we'll have to wait and see. As currently Matthew is getting slowly but surely getting caught now by Jay, but Nick is still... Where's this pace come from? Nicholas. Nick is flying currently right now. In ERS mode 3, a lot faster than Jay, but just can't get him on the slip. Oh, Jay almost hits the back end of Matthew Alder there. Luckily manages not to hit him. As this is a huge battle, four wide battle, 4 different teams battling for the leaders. Jack Earl sets the new fastest lap, 117.4, and just is in the top 10. As Morris gets a 3-second time penalty. It's currently in 7th. Oh, there's yellows in sector 1, 2, and 3. Who is that? Is that Brett? It is Brett. What has Brett done? What has Brett done? Brett has gone off somewhere, and has he cost... He's damaged Jamie Morris's wing. I don't know what happened there between those two drivers, but there's been contact. As we'll go back on board with... Sorry, not Jack Oil. We'll go back on board with Jay, who's battling for the lead. Currently now 2 tenths. Look how close everybody is. Could throw a carpet over him. They're that close. As now Jay is right at the back end of Matthew Alder. Will Jay now finally take the lead of this race? Will a Renault yet again stop the Red Bull from last season winning this race? We'll have to wait and see, as Jay is right behind Matthew Alder. Still gaining, but no. Oh yes, he is round the outside. Matthew has to defend, but oh, almost 3-way wide battle into the chicane. Jay's on the outside. Jay gets forced off, but Jay comes back. Oh, a bit of desync there. Not desync, a bit of lag connection there. 3 wide down the main straight. Jay's trying to shove Matthew into Nicholas. Jay, oh, big lock up from these 3. Still 3 wide. This is immense. Mark must be loving this right now. I bet he's wishing these lot just take each other out. But Jay is not having it. Jay wants first place, but Matthew is being dominant right now and defends with ease, and just defending amazingly there from Matthew Alder, defending from 2 other cars, as Nicholas now is right behind Jay, with those mediums now starting to work a bit better than the hards. But Jay is still there. Jay's going to go for the dive. No, he don't, as Brett gets a 10-second time penalty. I don't know what Brett is doing right now. I don't know if he's... I don't know what Brett is doing there. We'll probably be investigated at the end of the race, as currently Matthew... I don't know if Matthew's tyres are overheating or what, but the rear end looks a bit slidey. As Matthew versus Jay versus Nicholas versus Mark. Will this be the top 4 battling with Jack Oil for this IRL F1 Season 6 Championship this season? We'll have to wait and see, as Jay's going to get... Oh, bit of contact between these 2, and Matthew's lost 2 positions. As Mark is now saying, thank you very much, Matthew, and I am taking that position, and promotes himself to P3. Matthew would have dropped to 4th place. Who would think that? A person who started in the lead, had a decent start, made a mistake, took the lead again, and has now lost the lead. Jay is now the new leader of this race. Didn't have the best qualifying results, as we'll have a look at the position changes. Jay is the biggest gainer in the positions, 8 positions gained. Great driving there from Jay. Mark has only lost 1 and Matthew's lost 3, but the biggest loser is Lee Kelly and Lewis Marshall, with 6 positions lost. Still, Sondre still hasn't pitted, but Sondre should be pitting very soon, as Lee Kelly is in 9th. So everybody today who finishes the race will get a point, as after Brett, Tyler Rhodes, Luke and Lewis Marshall are no longer in this race. As Sauber's got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, apparently, or exceeded track limits. But Nicholas is now coming back at Jay, but Matthew's almost out of ERS and he's losing it. However, he has got past Mark again. Oh, Nicholas is in the lead. Nicholas is in the lead, a Williams driver. Nicholas has took the lead of this race. I am very surprised of that, as Nicholas is now waltzing off with DRS, and is amazing driving there from Nicholas. Person who I thought who wouldn't even be in the top 4 is actually now winning this race, with Jay still in second place, Matthew in third. Now, I don't know if this is a strategy, because I know Nick's going to have to pit again. Now, are they deliberately letting him through so he can pull a bit of a gap, waste more of his tyres, or is it too late now for Nick? Because there's only 9 laps to lap 30, and he will. That's when his pit window is, around about 28 to 30 for a set of soft tyres he could do. As he runs extreme wide, he almost loses the rear there. Maybe that's how Luke lost it there as well, as Nicholas gets a 3-second time penalty with that mistake, and it's going to cost him a bit of time. Will Nick pit? Nope, Nick stays out. So Nick's not pitting on it for another set of mediums. Only done 10 laps on them. Sondre did pit on a fresh set of mediums, currently in 8th place. Currently he's got a gap between Jacko over 12.5 seconds as Jay is retaking the lead of this race, as Nick has to drop behind. Nick almost rear ends Jay right there. This is an amazing battle to watch currently right now for the top 4, as Jack Oil gets past Albert from the pit stop, as Lee Kelly is coming back on a comeback drive. As we'll go on board with him on a set of hard tyres. We'll see if he'll get ahead of Sondre. We will go back on Matthew very shortly. Is Sondre going to have enough straight to defend from Lee Kelly? We'll have to wait and see. Lee is closing, but no, Lee doesn't get past as far, as he's got the second DRS zone now to have a chance. Will he get past? Will he? As DRS is active, he is a lot closer than what he was on the main straight. Now the second longest straight on this track. No, he doesn't. As we'll go back on board with the battle for first place. Mark's dropped off a bit. Maybe save off his tyres or cool down his engine. But currently now the battle is with the top 3. Even though Mark is still there, but it's close with the top 3, with Matthew, Nick and Jay still battling for this lead. Will Matthew now get back position on Nick? Those tyres may be wearing out compared to the hard tyres. Jay defends on the inside. Matthew almost thought about going for double inside. There's contact between him and Nick again, because Jay took it a bit wide for that corner and Matthew lost position there. As currently Jay has defended this time the lead for this race, as Nicholas is still right behind on those mediums. Nick needs to pit soon, or he's, in my opinion, I don't think he's going to have a chance to get a podium now, since the 2-stop is now in effect. I think now the 1-stop is quicker because he's been closed in this battle. So it's very unfortunate there for Nick, unless he can pull off a miracle and make these mediums go to the end. As Nick's losing a bit of time now to Jay, but Matthews and Mark are not losing any time to Nick. They're actually slowly catching up with him. Nick will still have DRS, so that'll be one benefit to keep his opponents at bay for a bit. But Matthew is in attack mode. Matthew in ERS mode 4 goes straight down back to ERS mode 0, so doesn't want to attack as of yet because he noticed he's catching up with Jay. So Matthew's now being a bit smarter with his decision, waiting, being patient, as Nick runs wide yet again, as Jamie Morris gets a 3-second time penalty now added to his time. As look how close Nick is. Nick is going on the inside of Jay to take the provisional lead, take the lead yet again. Jay tries to switch back, doesn't work, and Nick defends, keeps Jay at bay, but Jay's still there looking for an inside attempt. Nope. Nick says, you're not having this position, you're going to have to get me on the straight on the next lap. So that's unfortunate there from Jay, as Nick has now got the lead of this race and he needs to push, as Mark gets a 3-second time penalty added to his time. I think the only driver on this grid who hasn't got a penalty is actually Jay. The thing is, you can get past someone quite easily, but you can't lose them on this track because there's 2 DRS zones. As Nick is in the lead on lap 25, as Jay is right behind him in second place, going to go for the inside line. No, he doesn't think about it. He doesn't go for the attempt this time on the inside into turn 1. Be patient like Matthew as well, but look how close Matthew is to Jay. And Mark's just sitting there at the back, and well, in theory, him and Matthew are basically sitting in the back, not really getting involved in this battle. But look how much Jay's straight line speed compared to Nick, as Jay takes the lead back in this race. As we'll go back on board with Mark Espy right now. Still no wing damage. We're on TV pod view of this battle. As Nicholas gets another 3-second time penalty added to his time. Mark's just waiting in the wings. Hasn't got that much ERS, so in my opinion, if I would save your ERS, use a bit of your fuel. Oh, look at mistake. Matthew almost lost it again in that section. So that curb isn't liking those hard tyres. But we've also seen Nicholas made a mistake there. We saw Luke may have hit that curb actually and lost it completely. As we'll go back on board with Nicholas, who's going to be in slipstream now with the DRS of Jay, and he's going to slowly catch up. But look at Matthew. Matthew is not having it now. Matthew is making an attempt on Nicholas and gets to position with ease. Now his target is Jay Drawbridge. These two are currently Matthew first in the championship with a comfortable lead. Second place is Jay Drawbridge with his first set of points, because I believe the first round he retired from the session, or did wasn't there, I can't remember. But Matthew Alder is now second place. I believe still will be in the lead of the championship with the points currently. As we've got a nice helicopter camera view there. Oh, bit of dirt, yeah, is affecting Matthew Alder's car. Nice and tidy though, through the fast section. No costly exceeding track limit mistakes there from Matthew Alder. But currently he is a 10th up on his PB. And is slowly catching up. Still got a lot of ERS to save. Oh, sorry, saved, not saved. Against Jay. Jay's only got half of ERS. As currently Jay is still leading this race with 6/10 of a gap, but now Matthew will be battling to try and catch up. But will Nicholas come back at him? Matthew's still not in the slipstream. This may be a mistake in my opinion from him. I would have got him closer in the slipstream to try and make an attempt, but stays out of it and stays behind Jay right now. But this has made Nick close with a tiny bit. As GT Rob, one of the drivers who did comms with me when he was driving the GT Sport last week, is saying good luck guys, and he's liking the stream so far since he said it's looking good. Thank you there for your comment there, GT. As currently back to the battle ahead for P1, still the top 4 battling it out, but Nick surely needs to pit. There's no way he's taking those tyres to the end. Like, I understand if Jack is probably the only one who probably... Oh, as Matthew exceeds track limits. Miles exceeding track limits there. But look how close Nick is again on those medium tyres. How is he doing it? Like, seriously, how is he doing it on those mediums compared to these guys on hards? It is amazing me. As Matthew cuts the corner a tiny bit there, so that's another warning. Is Matthew now starting to crack under the pressure? We'll have to wait and see, as now Matthew will be flooring it up to Jay. He is gaining 210 miles an hour when only Jay's doing 198. Look how much straight line speed Matthew's got compared to Jay. And Matthew takes the lead of this race back into pole position. Jay tries to switch back. Jay is going on the inside. Oh, a bit of contact there. Now Jay is going on the outside. As we'll go on board with Nicholas with TV pod view. Oh, as Matthew locks up extremely to try and avoid hitting Jay at the back, as Jay comes on the outside and goes in front of him. Great driving from these 4, especially these 4. Absolutely solid driving so far. Oh, but there's another battle further down on track now. Currently 4/10 is Lee Kelly and Sondre Sorhaug. Currently the gap is 4/10, still battling it out. Oh, actually bigger now, 1.4 seconds. So that was a battle, but no longer. So Lee has either got a puncher or he's made a mistake. as Matthew is going to have to watch out yet again. Nicholas is right behind him on those set of mediums. Lap 29 out of 36. Will we see a person in P3 take his tyres over 23 laps? I'll have to wait and see. As Matthew's got the oldest tyres, including with Mark, out of the leaders, but Jay's got the youngest. Now Jay's tyres will be a lot better than Matthew's near the end of the race, so Jay may just stay behind Matthew and just be patient. But look at Jay, look at Nick, Nick tried to go off the inside, doesn't make it work. A big lock up from both drivers as Matthew takes the lead of this race. Jay still in second, Nick in third, and Mark's just stayed fourth, not got involved in this battle, just being patient. Oh, is Matthew now basically in hammer time mode? Because honestly, he's just pulled a second within a few corners. Matthew is flooring it now. Matthew does need to build up a gap with his penalty of a 3-second time penalty added to his time. Currently the gap is 1.2 seconds right now. So Matthew has got out of the DRS zone. This is crucial for Matthew Alder. But this isn't good for Jay. Jay is now a sitting duck against Nicholas and Mark. Currently now the new fast lap on a set of hard tyres is a 1:17.2. So Matthew Alder will get the fastest lap currently. Who is the closest? And it's actually Jack Hoyle with a 17.4 on a set of mediums. So has Matthew been not showing off his full speed, just having a bit of fun with this battle? Looks like he has been, as Nicholas has now got a gap apparently. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the leader. Gap between him and Jay is under 0.3 of a second. So it's now the top three battling for second place, as Matthew is now waltzing off in the lead. Matthew gets another 3-second time penalty. That's 6 seconds. Matthew's got to build up a gap of 6 seconds to win this race. Matthew will have to push. Only 6 laps, I believe, remaining of the Sessions League. Kelly now gets a 3-second time penalty. He's also lost a position against Sauber. As we get a bit of a weird camera angle. Will Nick get another attempt on Jay, or will those mediums fade? Because he is definitely taking those mediums to the end. I will be amazed how far he can take those tyres. As Nick still didn't catch up enough against Jay there, but Mark is now slowly losing a bit of time against Mark is losing a bit of time now to Nicholas, as currently the gap is now 1.1 seconds. Oh, Nicholas locks up big there, and that has just brought the gap between Mark and Nicholas back to 0.6. And look how close it is now. Jack Hoyle gets a 3-second time penalty added to his time. Currently the gap between the leader from first to second is 1.6 seconds. Not big enough so far, since I don't believe Jay's got a penalty. So will Matthew lose the win yet again against Jay with penalties? You have to wait and see, as Jamie Morris is now pitted for a set of soft tyres. He is going to try and steal the fastest lap. He is in the top 10, so he will get the fastest lap if nobody else pits him for a set of softs. Now, is Nick pitting? Yes, Nick is pitting. He's had enough. He's not taking those mediums to the end. He's pitting to get the fastest lap. Currently the gap between him and Jack, it's 18.4 seconds. So he will be the only person to get 4th place, I believe, against Jack Hoyle, because he will be a lot quicker on those new set of tyres. Quick stop, and he is gone. Where is Jack Hoyle? Jack Hoyle is coming out of down the straight. Nick just comes out of the pits. Now, there's no battles. Well, actually, there is a battle between Lee Kelly and Sauber. Sauber's now just got another 3-second time penalty added to his time. Now he's going down the main straight here in the DRS, with Sondre still in 7th with a comfortable gap over Lee Kelly, 3.5 seconds. Oh, don't know what Lee was doing there. I don't know if that was a bit of moving under braking. But Lee just lost the position from Sauber. as we'll go on board with Jamie Morris now, because he is basically in overtake mode. So we want to see what lap he can do on those set of softs. Matthew's not that far, so he could be lapped. So here comes Jamie Morris now to start is basically his qualifying run all over again on those soft tyres now. Let's see what pace he can do in a one lap pace on those softs. He is flooring it now down the main straight, topping the speed of 201 miles per hour. Coming into the third turn 1, into turn 2. Right, it's nice and tight for turn 3. There's yellows in sector 3. Oh, that's Sauber spinning around. Jamie Moss now gets a 3-second time penalty to his time. Was there contact between him and Lee Kelly? We'll have a look on wing damage. No wing damage from Lee Kelly as Sauber is just crashed. So I don't know what Sauber's done there. He's got, yeah. Jamie Morris is going to get a free position anyway now between Sauber's loss. I don't know if that is the 90% rule though. I don't know if he's done it. He could have. As Jamie Morris takes that free position, what lap is Jamie Morris going to do? As there's no other battles on track, so I might as well stay on board with Jamie Morris. What time is he going to do? Nice and tidy through the hairpin. Still got a bit of ERS to play with. Matthew is still catching, I believe, on Jamie actually very slowly, but as Jamie has just run out of ERS at 115.6 miles quicker than what Matthew's fastest lap was. However, he's not the only one who's on a fastest lap. Nicholas is 5/10 improvement on his PB. What is his PB currently? His PB currently is a 117.6, so that'll be a 17 flat currently right now. However, he may gain a lot more compared to what his times Delta said he has gained. He is getting a bit of DRS now between him and Jack Earl, but he's also low on fuel. What time is it going to be? No improvement on his time, as I believe. No, it was invalid, so it didn't count. Currently now, Jamie Morris holds the current fastest lap. That's currently the gap between Matthew and Jay. It's 2.8 seconds. He still needs to build up another 3 seconds to that time, so he's got the lead of this race. As Jack Oils ran extremely wide there. As Nick, I don't know what Nick's doing. I don't know if he's gone inside or outside, but he's gone on the outside into turn 4. Tries the move attempt. Jack defends, but Nick's going for the switchback. Gets it lined up perfectly there from Nick, and he's going to take the position, I believe, from the reigning champion into P4. Nicholas is P4, the reigning champion into P5 after he had to make that unscheduled pit stop on a set of mediums. So Nick is now holding P4. Now will Nick get P4? I don't know what these two are doing. I don't know if... Nope, Jack, defending champion, now retakes it. Nope. Nick is battling it out with Jack Oil. Absolutely scrapping away, but this is costing Nick with the fastest lap right now, so Nick needs to start pushing. Another 3-second time penalty for Nick. Soon he will be disqualified. I think that's like now 18-second time penalties added to his time. Jack is defending extremely now against against Nicholas. Look how close Nicholas is, and they're ghosting because they're that close. And Nicholas is trying to, I don't know what Nicholas is doing, just get past him, but he doesn't. As Jamie Morris still holds the fastest lap with only 2 laps remaining of this race. Was currently the gap between these two drivers, between the leader, is 26 seconds from Matthew Alder. But Matthew Alder's now got the gap between him and Jay to 3.8 seconds. Only 2 more seconds he needs to hold the lead. Oh, as Nick goes on the outside of Jack Hoyle instead of the inside, and he's going to probably get the move with the grip. Oh, Jack Hoyle shoves him wide a little bit there. That could have given him a warning. And there you go. Nicholas has now made the position work. As Jack Hoyle now gets a 3-second time penalty there. But Jack Hoyle wants to make another move on Nicholas. Has now won the last lap. The leader is on the last lap as Nicholas runs extremely wide. Oh, contact between these two drivers. Nick backs off and lets him back through. However, now we'll go back on board with the leader, Matthew Alder, who was in first place from qualifying. Kept the lead into turn 1 on lap 1. Had a huge battle between Jay, Mark and Jack Hoyle and Nick. Is that Nick round? Is that Nick round? No, it's not. Who is it? Is it Lee Kelly? Jamie Morris. It's Jamie Morris. Jamie Morris has been lapped and is letting everybody through. As Jack and Nick is still battling out. We'll stay on board with the leader of this race in the Renault, Matthew Alder. Will he build up a quick enough gap to hold Jay behind? Currently the gap is now 4.4 seconds. In my opinion, he isn't going to do it. Is Jay going to win this race? Oh, Matthew gets another 3-second time penalty. That is it. That is game over for him. Matthew is going to get the win by winning the race in first. However, the penalties are going to give Jay the win officially, I believe. I could be wrong, but Matthew takes the win in Mexico. But will Jay take it off him by penalties? Yes, he does. By 4.4 seconds, Jay wins this race first. Matthew in second. Mark SB in third. As Jackal and Nick are still scrapping away, as Nick almost gets shoved off track. As this is actually close up with Can. Is Can going to get the 2 free positions? Because I don't see he had a lot of penalties. As here comes Jack and Nick come around the final 2 corners. Jack Oil takes 4th, Nick takes 5th, but Can takes 5th off Nicholas. Because Nicholas didn't even get across the line. Oh yeah, he did. As Sondre will take P7th with a gap of 12.2 seconds from Nicholas and 4.2 seconds from Lee Kelly, as Lee Kelly is the last person with 25 laps, hard tyres, to finish in 8th. As he just rear-ends Nicholas's Williams. So there you have it, your top 3. A second win there for Jay Drawbridge. He won in Austria, he's now won in Mexico. 2 wins in a row. That must be a great feeling there from Jay Drawbridge. Matthew Alder in second will be a bit annoyed of losing the win with penalties, but it happens time to time. And with Mark SB in third place, could have had it in Austria, could have had it in round 1, I believe, but now he's now on the top step and third place on the podium with Jay and Matthew. Great driving from these 3. An amazing battle from Jay, Mark, Matthew and Jack Hoyle and Nicholas. So there you have it. Jay wins this race with Matthew Alder in second, Mark SB in third, Jack Hoyle in P4 after starting at the back of the grid. Can in 5th, Nicholas in 6th after 18 seconds of penalties. I was right. Sondre in 7th. Lee Kelly finishes in 8th after the bit of contact at the start of the race with Lewis Marshall. Jamie Morris reserve race, bit of contact with Brett, finishes 9th with the fastest lap, as Sauber may have finished in with the 90% rule and got 10th, as Brett, Tyler Rhodes, Luke and Lewis Marshall didn't finish this race after retiring from the race. So there you have it, guys. There's Jay winning the Mexican Grand Prix, as I will get interviews. I know Jay doesn't have a mic, so the 2 guys who I'll be invited to this party is Mark SB and Matthew Alder. Just invite them now. It's been a very great race today. Outstanding. I think my drive of the day today though is Jack Hoyle from starting at the back of the grid to get 4th. Even a bit of contact between him and Mark. Great driving there from Jack Hoyle. As I'm just waiting on Mark and Matthew to join the party. As Mark is in. Alright Mark, before I interview you mate, just making sure your voice is on always allow. Alright mate, we'll just wait for Matthew and I'll start with him and then I'll get to you. As here is Matthew Alder. Well then, the 2 interviewers for today, since Jay doesn't have a mic. Well then Matthew, how does it feel to get 2nd place and lost the lead yet again with penalties? Fine, wow. I thought you'd be a bit disappointed, but nah, you were. I do agree with that. It is Codemasters. However, yeah, true. There was. Yeah, we did see you lose it into turn 1. I didn't know if it was contact between you and Mark or you just lost it. Ah. Well then. Well, I bet you weren't happy with that battle though. It was costing you a bit of time since you had that 6-second time penalty but then it went to 9 seconds on the last lap. Or did you enjoy that battle? Oh, 12 seconds, wow. Okay, I was even wrong there. 12 seconds then. Matthew, your mic is on always allow, right? Because I'm just saying he can't hear you.
Shut up.
I'll ask those questions again then. If I can remember them. Right. Tell me when it's back on always allow, mate, and then I'll...
It's been always now since I said shut up.
Okay, right. Right then. So then, Matthew, so you're not then disappointed with losing the lead?
No.
Alright. So he says he got 15-second time penalties. Apparently to the race. However, the battle between you and Jay was very close and very clean.
As well.
Oh, and Nick. And Nick and Mark. It was very clean racing and close. Yeah. Were you like getting annoyed at one point where you were getting a bit hold up because of Nick, because he was getting a bit of DRS off Jay, or were you just calm and just being patient?
Was good. It's just the only thing that annoyed me was just almost getting spun twice by the commentator, which just I don't understand why it does that. But you never know with code muscles, so.
Yeah. Well, then the final question I'm going to ask you for next week, I believe it is Canada. Where do you think you're going to be in like the race, like position wise?
I think I can win. It's a wheel track, so unless you're Louis, so should be able to beat Jay, which is good. Best in the last 2 weeks.
So Matthew is saying he's going to win in Canada and challenging Jay for it. Well, it'll be an interesting battle all around from every F1 driver against Matthew at Canada. Well, thank you for that, Matthew, and hope you do well for next week in Canada. And now I'm going to move on to Mark. Now, Mark, unfortunately, the first 2 races didn't go your way, I believe. Second race, you had a bit of contact between you and Lewis Marshall, but now, third race, you're on the podium. You got 3rd place. What was your aim for today at the start of the race? Was it challenge Matthew straight into turn 1, or?
I said just keep up with Matthew best I could. I know I wasn't going to have the pace in the race, so yeah, I just tried keeping up with him. And then whenever the mistake happened, it kind of made me having to just defend a little bit off him.
With that mistake, did you have a little grin on your face, thinking, "Oh, I can win this race," or did you just keep calm and try and do the best as you could?
I just kept calm because I knew Matt has the pace to catch back up anyway, so it didn't make a difference either way.
I have to ask you about one thing though. With contact between you and Jack Hoyle, who did you think was at fault? Do you think yourself was at fault, or Jack, or was it a racing incident in your view?
I was just sticking from where I was. All I know, from what I've seen, Jack tried diving up instead of Matthew, but he kind of like swiped me onto him, so like I couldn't do anything about that in a way.
Righty then. Well, you've had a good race. I bet you're happy with the podium. So 3rd place, 15 solid points to your championship. Do you think you're going to be able to challenge Matthew, Jay and Jack Hoyle and a few other F1 drivers for this championship this season? Or are you just aiming for the constructors with your teammate, with Cameron Young?
Well, hopefully Cameron can turn up next week if he's not sick. Because all the constructors is a big one.
Okay, and the last question I'm going to ask you, what do you think you're going to be in position wise in Canada next week?
I would say top 5. I don't like Canada.
Top 5? Okay then. Well, Matthew Alder thinks he's going to win the race, and Mark thinks he's going to get top 5. Well, this has been Jared Fosbury in the commentary, doing IRL F1. Round 3 in Mexico, Season 6, and your winner is Jay Drawbridge. Second place is Matthew Alder, and third place is Mark. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching the stream, and I'll see you guys for next week for IRL F1 Season 6 Round 4 in Canada. Tune in very soon for the GT Sport Round 2 Season 1 in half an hour, and tomorrow at 4:30 UK time for F2 IRL and F3 at 4:30 UK time for round 3 Mexico of IRL. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye for now.